Hey guys, it's Brian. Keep it up with the nerds, coming at you with another video. Actually, this video was supposed to release alongside issue number 75 with Steven Hoffa, and I got a little bit of I got distracted just slightly, and kind of put this video in the backlog of many other videos I got to work on. But that's besides the point. This video is finally releasing, and it's the companion video that is going to be telling the story that Steven told us at the end of that issue. So, before I go ahead and introduce the rest of the video, just to let you guys know, so before I introduce the rest of this video, just a reminder, guys, that all issues of our podcast get released on Wednesdays at 11:30. If you guys are interested, go ahead and follow us on any audio platform that you guys listen to podcasts to. And if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel here at Keeping Up with the Nerds, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. That way you guys are up to date on all the videos and podcasts that get released on our channel. I won't keep you guys waiting. Again, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think actually about this video, and if you listen to issue 75, what were your favorite parts about it? All right, guys, enough of my talking. I'm gonna go ahead and let the video roll right now. Steven, go ahead, tell us the story.
Okay.
How you lost your virginity. This is a treat that people get when they stick this long on the podcast.
Okay, so This is a pretty vulnerable story about me and some girl from Laguna Hills. But so I was 16, right? I was dating this girl, like 16-year-olds do, and we had both, never done the deed. And we did, right? So the whole story is not about the deed. It's about what happened after, because that's the funny part.
It's about the journey, not the goal.
It's about the aftermath. For sure.
Oh.
Okay, so that happened, right? And it was like I just went to my first concert. I was like, I got to tell everybody about it. You know what I mean? I was so excited because I was 16, lost my virginity. I'm a guy. Hormones are going crazy at that age. Not now, not at all. But that age, big time. Kidding. But okay. I told my sister, who's 3 years older, she's like 19 at the time, and I told my dad, and my sister was like, I don't care, but she's too cool for school. But I was just so excited. I was like, you're not going to believe this. You know what I mean? I told my dad, and he was just like, all right, like, just got to be careful. Like, it's done. Like, I'm not going to tell you anything, but you got to be careful. But I didn't tell my mom for obvious reasons. My mom's like this really sweet, honest person. You know what I mean? And I didn't tell her. So the whole household, except for my mom, knows. Okay. 2 weeks goes by. Me and my sister get in a fight over, like, the bathroom. She was, like, doing makeup, and I was like, hey, I need to use the shower. You can go do makeup in the other bathroom, and I can only use the shower. And she's like, I don't care. I'm the type of guy that's like, all right, well, I'm just going to start getting undressed and just start undressing. She's like, you're such an asshole. And then she's like, and you can even do it on my birthday? And I'm like, oh, happy birthday. And then, like, get in the shower. So that was my childhood. So she tells my mom that I had sex with my girlfriend because I took the shower.
Wow.
It's not. I've done a lot of teeter-tottering as a kid. It's not the same level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You scared her with the missile, and she decided to nuke.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, missile's a stretch.
Torpedo?
Suppressing fire.
Yeah. Yeah. The thought that counts. Yeah. So she tells my mom, right? And I don't know if she told her the next day. I can't remember, but she told her because she was pissed about that, right?
Wow.
Which I was like, are you effing kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, that is the biggest loserest thing you could do. Like, could you just screw me over for the dumbest shit ever?
Yeah.
And I just remember there was this vibe of like, everybody knows, and then everybody knows my mom knows, and I'm about to get in trouble, but me and my mom aren't talking yet. And it's like, there's this vibe in my house of like, I'm in the room and she's blah, blah, blah. And so my dad comes in the room, and I was doing whatever. I was like twiddling my thumbs or whatever. And he's like, hey, your mom knows, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, we got to go do this talk, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, let's go. And so I like stand up, and he's like, hang on. I'm like, what's the deal? Because my dad's the scary guy in the house. Like, he was the scary person, the parent.
Yeah.
So my mom's really sweet. So I'm not afraid of my mom, but I didn't want to tell her because it's weird for me to tell her, and also it's gonna like quote break her heart,
Yeah.
So my dad's like, well, hang on. I'm like, what's the deal? Yeah, let's go do this. And he's like, okay, here's the deal. You can't let your mom know that you told me. Because if she finds out that I knew and didn't tell her, I'm gonna get in trouble too. I was like, don't worry, fam, I got you.
On the top right corner of the screen, it's like objective 1, and you got optional objectives coming up.
So I'm like, dude, no big thing, dude. Let's go do it. And like I said, my dad's like the big intimidating guy in the family, right? And he's a terrible actor.
At any point, did you realize this plan was not going to go according to plan?
No, I was just like, dude, I got you. Assuming he was just going to be like, I don't even think she was going to ask, but you just have to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, well, Dad knew. So I go out there. And we're in the kitchen. There's a linoleum floor. It's a cold surface. And AC was on too low. There's a cold brisk in the air. No, I was kidding.
No, I love it. That was awesome.
So I go out there, and my dad like walks behind my mom, which is unusual because my dad's the guy that's like in front taking charge. So he's like behind my mom with his hand on her shoulder. So she can't see his face, right? Okay. So my mom is like, you know what we need to talk about, right? And I was like, yep. And she's like, do you know what he did? And my dad goes, no, what happened? Like my dad talks like this and hunts and shoots animals all the time. Like that's my dad. He moved to Montana. And he's like, no, what happened? And I because like I said, I'm not afraid of my mom. So and I'm just trying to I'm like, dude.
Like, you're not giving me anything.
I'm trying not to. I'm like
help me here.
Yeah.
Help me.
I was still trying to save him. I was like, bro, you gotta do better than that, dude. And she's like, I don't want to say her name, but she's like, Steve and blank had sex, and he goes, oh my gosh, like the most unnatural, like,
oh no,
like covers his mouth. Yeah. And I'm just like trying not to laugh in my mom's face. You know what I mean? And ultimately my mom is like, look I can't know and like her parents not know. Like it feels like I'm lying to them. Like I have to come clean.
What?
Like,
what?
Yeah, dude.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh, this is only getting worse.
So she's like, I'm gonna tell. Oh yeah, we haven't gotten to the thick of it yet. Oh yeah. There's still a lot to it. So she's like, I'm gonna call and tell her parents. Like I can't know. And like my mom's just a really sweet, honest person.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't know. And I was like, simmer down.
Yeah. Oh,
wait a minute. Like,
I feel I know where this is going.
I was like, hold on, Turbo. I'm not gonna have my mom call my girlfriend's parents and be like, my little Steven did this and defiled your daughter. You know what I mean? Like,
what a conversation to have over the phone.
I was like, I will go tell her parents. Okay. It's like you're not gonna call them.
Yeah,
I will go tell them in person.
Yes.
Okay. And yes, a lot of people have since told me like you could have just said you were gonna go do it and then not do it. She's not gonna call to double check. I was like, didn't even think about that. But here we are.
Also,
16 years old. I was on a high.
Yeah.
Felt on top of the world.
The other thing is that at that point too, you don't know that she's not going to go double check. Because what are the chances like she's talking to him one day when and then she's just like, oh, so about what they did.
What a couple of fornicators, huh? Yeah. So okay.
So much worse.
It's like all set up, right? It's all like I told my girlfriend at the time that I had to go do this. I was like, hey, I got to tell your parents. And she's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, well, I got to do it, And so she lived in Laguna Hills, right? It's like 45 minutes away from Whittier, minimum. And I got my license, but there's like that period of where I guess it's the permit where like it was my first time driving down there by myself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'd driven with people or whatever, but it was the first time driving down there by myself.
Yeah.
So that was a step, and I had been dating her for a few months, and her parents liked me. Like the parents always liked me more than the girl, at least in high school. Like I was whatever. It's another subject, but so I drive down there, and like the AC is full cold, full blast, because my hands are just sweating. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like blowing on my hands, and it's just like as cold as I can get the cabin. I want that. You know what I mean? And I'm driving down there, and I do the thing where you like park in front, and then you turn off the car. And you just like sit there for a second. You're like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? Right? Like, I'm about to go like charge in trench warfare right now. Like that's what's happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm about to step into the Super Bowl, like, trying to get amped. You know what I mean? Like, and they were like the guy was like a firefighter, and they did pretty well. So they had this nice big house, with, like a big entrance.
Your dad was a firefighter?
Yeah. So
he's still alive, dude.
He's got an axe in the house somewhere. 100%.
Did you check the umbrella bin? Right next to the door?
Dude, I'd been to the house a few times, obviously. And so...
Oh, we got in there, right?
So, okay. I drive down there, and I'm, like, getting in the moment here, like, trying to amp myself up, and, like, all right. Ironically, looking back, I was very much like, all right, let's do this. Like, I actually was, like, staring death in the face, like, let's do it. I was kind of manned the up. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I mean,
I
you just
nailed
had
it.
sex. What do you expect?
You know,
You had confidence.
You cowboyed up.
Yeah.
I totally cowboyed up, and I had my 6-shooters on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm, AC was on full blast, right? And I walk up, and I knock on the door, and it's like this big wooden, like, when you can just tell, like, people make good money about how nice their front door is.
Yeah.
Nice, like, wooden, hand carved. It's like, knock on this thing, thum, thum, thum. The dad answers the door, and he's just like this big dude, probably like 6'3", 240, 250. Big guy, right? Knows how to put out fires. Goes into flaming buildings, and he beats the shit out of fire. Okay. And I'm like a cat on the freeway right now. Okay. So I knock on this door, and he answers the door, and he's like, "Hey, you made it!" Like I'd seen him a bunch. I've been to SeaWorld with him. You know what I mean? And so he's like, "Hey, you made it," because they knew it was my first time driving down there and everything. And he's going on for like 10 minutes about how great of a day he's having.
Oh my
Wait,
god!
he knows at this point, right?
He does
No,
not.
he does not.
I'm going there to tell them.
Yeah, that's what the whole.
Wait, hold on. Have you not been paying attention?
No, I did. I am. It's
I'm
just,
driving down there to like tell
it's
them.
just
what
I was
happened.
so invested in the firefighter aspect of this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, so when do you die?
Right. So he's going on and on about how great of a day he's having, and I'm just like that's great, dude. And I'm just like,
just wait until I ruin it,
dude. Like,
just wait until I ruin it.
He's like, man, it's Saturday. I got 2 days off. Like, oh,
You thought your work week was over? Guess
yeah.
what?
I don't even remember what he said, but I just remember he was like going on and on about how like great of a mood he's in and great day. And the whole time I'm just like ready to ruin it. You know what I mean? I'm just might as well be standing there with my hands behind my back, like, yes sir, yes sir. Like, I'm gonna ruin it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a fire right now. Like,
So, okay. And the mom's cleaning, and she won't stop cleaning. So, see my girlfriend, and we, like, go outside. We're, like, hanging by the car out in the front. Like, all right, you ready to do it? Like, pep talking her, like, she's like, I don't really want to do this. I'm like, well, man up, woman. We got to do it. I, like, hold her hand. She's like, Jesus, your hands are freezing. I'm like, I'm a cold-blooded motherfucker. That's why. In reality, it's because my hands were sweating like crazy, and I was being a little bitch on the way over and had the AC full blast. You know what I mean? But I can't let her know that. And I'm like, it's because I'm cold. You know what I mean? Cold-hearted. And I will say, though, I do remember I was like, we got to do it. And she's like, all right. Like, I really, like, manned up. Mm-hmm. So we walked back in there. I was like, hey, we need to talk to you guys. Which it's like right there, tone set. And the mom won't stop cleaning. So the dad's like, they had like a big L-shaped couch. So the dad's sitting down, and we're like, and he's like, come on, they got to tell us something. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, for the love of God, just stop cleaning. Like, let me get this over with. You're dragging this out. You know what I mean?
yeah, you're standing there, you're sitting there awkwardly.
She's twisting the blade in my stomach is what she's doing. She's like, okay, just gonna let me finish this. And I almost want to be like, for like on Dumb and Dumber, like, for God's sake, just give me the damn number. You know what I mean? Like, just. And so, L-shaped couch, right? I sat on the very outside with my girlfriend at the time in between us for defensive purposes. And, right.
Just more space between.
Yeah. Just something to hide behind. In case he wants to swing.
So the entire time the family thinks that you're going, like the family, but not the girlfriend, believes you're going to be telling them something important.
It's kind of assumed. I didn't say like, hey, I got something important to tell you, but I was like, hey, we need to talk to you guys. Which, as a 16-year-old couple, they probably thought she was pregnant or something.
Honestly, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Right. So they finally stand. The mom's like standing behind the couch, and the dad sits down, and he like does the thing where he's like, oh, okay, like slaps his knees, like, what's the thing? And he like leans in, and he's like, all right, what's the big thing? What do you got to tell us? And pre-strategy conversation with my dad. Are we still? Am I good? It's all
you're
good.
fine,
No,
you're
I'm
fine.
fine.
He's just looking at the TV.
Okay. So, pre-strategy combo with my dad. Right. He's like, all right, here's the deal. He's like, I have a daughter. Don't say the word sex. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, that's what we did. And he's like, I know. I have a daughter, and I know that I would kill a guy if he told me that. So just don't say the word sex. I'm like, well,
yeah.
what
How do I
say?
yeah.
Like, you guys are already making me go down there and do this. And he's like, well, that's your mother making you do that. But like,
hold on, hey, me.
Where's this we coming in?
he's like, just don't say that word. I'm like, well, what do you want me to say? He's like, I don't know. Just say you were like physically active or something. And I was like, I'm not playing racquetball, dude.
Yeah, I feel like you have to explain further.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So we've been physically active.
So
you
that's-
guys
Your
play
dad
handball,
said
or-
your dad said they're gonna hike you the ball. And for the love of God,
Right.
don't Hail Mary that touchdown.
Gave me like the shittiest advice. Yeah, I don't know. Just don't tell him what actually happened. Like that's pretty much what he said. So I go in there with that advice, and I blindly follow it.
Oh no.
So the dad's like, "All right, so what do you got to tell us? Huh? What's so important?" And I think back of like how to not sound like an idiot 16-year-old. And I go, me and blank, I said her name. I was like, we were physically active. And like, dude, right when I punctuated the sentence, he like leans in and like cuts it. And he's like, what is physically active mean?
Oh, geez.
Like a guy that's like about to kill a guy with like slowly.
Yeah.
Please give me the.
Right,
please
like-
tell me. Explain to me what you mean, so I know I killed you for the right reason.
Not like, okay, well, what do you mean by that? It was like, what does physically active mean? Like, and I remember I broke eye contact. I'll never forget this. He was like, angle was like to Nick. I was looking at him, and then I broke eye contact, and I was looking down because I was trying to think of any other word besides sex. You know what I mean?
But you lost. But you lost. You lost.
Well,
in the
every
eye.
time you think of the word sex and you're like trying to think of something else, all you can think about is sex. And it gets to a point you're like, well, I got to answer the man. It's been too long. So I like broke eye contact and I looked down and I was like, sex. And it like, dude.
You just said the word? That was it?
Yes. And when we first sat down, they kicked her little sister out who was like 8. So she's in the backyard, right? And she's doing whatever, like, because we needed to talk. So she's in the back. So I was like, sex. And it said it was exactly like that. Like it was dead silent. There wasn't like, I didn't hear you. There was like gardeners outside. It was like quiet Saturday weekend. Everybody's inside. Sex. Just like, hey, sex. You know, like it was like nobody misheard it. It was just like flatline. You could hear somebody die. Sex. And he's just like, so just full blown sex. And I was like, yeah. Like I sounded like such a punk, dude. Like, not like, yes, sir, that's exactly what happened, but let me explain. Nothing like that. I was like, yeah. Just such an idiot. And the mom was like, where were we? And my girlfriend at the time thought it would be a great detail to add in that they were downstairs during that. Yeah, she was like, you guys were downstairs. And I was like, could have not brought that up.
Yeah.
Could have just been like, you guys were not clear, you know,
You
whatever.
were at home.
Could have not
You
said
were-
anything.
You weren't home. I don't know.
Dude. Okay. And they're like, was it the night he spent the night? And she's like, no, and it wasn't. Okay. And right about that time, dude, things are tense.
You can smell.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Right? Like I literally just almost died in a motorcycle accident like 8 months ago. Like just got back to work a month ago. I didn't feel as close to death as when I was in this room. Dude, it's tense. And right at this moment, her little sister like opens the slider. She's like, "Can I come in now?" And he's like, "Not right now." Like pissed. And she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh," like, you know, 'cause she doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, okay, you know, like what happens now?
Yeah.
And the girl is next to me, just like she knows she's gonna get grounded and blah blah blah.
Right.
He's like, "Well, we appreciate you being honest, but we're gonna have to ask you to leave." And I stood up and I was like, "You mean like go outside while you talk to your daughter, or like leave?"
Like
He's
go
like,
home.
"No, like leave." I was like, "Okay." And I walked out, didn't look back, and I never saw her again.
Really?
Yeah. We
Dang.
texted a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and then we ended up breaking up.
Did she say what was the conversation after or no? Like
She got grounded for like 3 months or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't ground it at all, at all. And and then so so I was only there for like 15 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I drove there, ruined her life, and then left.
My God.
And then, right, like so much more damage was done by telling them.
Mhm.
Looking back, like my mom
Yeah.
was totally wrong. But like,
yeah.
so I'm driving home, and my dad, I thought it was a weekend, but I remember my dad calling me on my drive home. And so my dad, I answer it, and I'm like, hello. And you know when you can tell you're on speaker because you hear it like echo?
Yeah.
So I'm like, hello. And he's like, hey, did you do it? I was like, yeah, I did it. And I can hear like him and all of his supervisors and like everybody he works with. They're like, yeah! For the next like 2 weeks, every like one of my buddies, their dad would just come up to me and they just shake my hand. Like, dude, That's some balls. For like 2 weeks straight. And I just drove home, and then that was it.
Your mom sent you to Chernobyl, and you came back alive.
Yeah, dude. But I
Now, how do your mom react when basically
pat on the back, you did the right thing.
I don't know. I just kind of
After
went
she
away.
ruined your relationship.
Well, the relationship was already kind of going downhill. To be honest, she was kind of crazy. I mean, we're 16, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. No, and then that was the end of it. I've told that story so many times,
Mhm.
and that's the one that I told at I shrunk it down to 5 minutes to when I first did stand up, and I did really well. And I've told that a couple times since, but
that's a good story.
it's fun.
Solid.
Yeah.
That's a great way to
That was
end
a
the
great
issue.
story, man.
I've also bombed hard with that story too.
Oh, really?
Well, they don't get
'Cause
the
you're-
art. They don't get the
Yeah.
Well, if you're embarrassed to say it in front of people,
That's
Ah.
the.
and it's weird.
That's that. I can see that.
Yeah, I've told it in inopportune times, for sure. But yeah, I know.
Hey guys, that about does it for this video. If you guys want to listen to the rest of issue 75, feel free to follow us on all our audio platforms like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean, or here on our YouTube channel at Keeping Up with the Nerds. If you have not yet subscribed. What are you waiting for? Hit that notification button so you guys are up to date with everything and anything that we release on this channel. Follow us on our socials as well, Instagram and Twitter, Facebook as well. That way you guys can keep up to date on that side as well. Renee does an excellent job. I'm always going to keep saying it. Renee, thank you for everything that you do. Last but not least, thank you, Steven, for popping up on the podcast. Guys, if you liked what he did or how he showed up, all the stories that he told us on the issue, including this video, let him know down in the comments below. What did you like? What do you guys want to see more of? Would you like to have him back on? If you guys are interested in knowing more about him or where you can find him, I'll go ahead and link all his socials in the description down below, including his own podcast, Standing Still. Yes, I got it right this time. I'm very sorry, Steven, for messing it up the first time around. Standing Still podcast on all audio platforms and his YouTube channel, as well as his website. Give him a follow. Support fellow creators like him. And I think with that, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up the video again. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one.